It is a very strange situation that humanity has created for itself, in which nobody can relate.
Hello and welcome to a new series I'm going to be doing, essentially just around my vlogging. I'm going to be recording the first day of every 3 days I have off, exploring boxing, my training towards an event that eventually will happen, my first charity or first amateur boxing event. So all I'm really going to be doing is talking around my diet, talking around my sort of lifestyle, talking around my routine as such, and just sort of exploring things really. So hop in, HI, get your seatbelt strapped on because it's going to be a bumpy ride. And let's go. So first point of view is one-to-one session. Let's do this. So that's the, as you can see from my very flustered and red face.
Let's go burpee jump.
That's my session done today with Adrian at Better Boxing.
Good work.
I'll leave a link in the description to this video. But yeah, absolutely fantastic session. I've got to slow things down a little bit. So obviously I'm not going to upload a lot of stuff because obviously when it comes around to the time where obviously I get a fight announced and stuff, I don't want to give too much away of what I'm doing, what potential weaknesses I have. But what I can tell you is, as someone who's new to this sport and new to actually being under someone who specifically knows boxing, I'm one of these people, I rush a lot. So I try and do a million things at once in my brain. So not only is boxing teaching me to physically become stronger, faster and fitter, it's also teaching my brain to actually be utilised well, you know, and slow things down. Great session overall.
With love for the land, love for the purpose, up to the surface, love for the plans. Cut for the cuts and slices, cut for the traffic, clutching my grants. Cut from a different spot, I was visiting God, now back to the...
So as you just saw in that last little segment, had beans, bit of brioche, 2 fried eggs, and of course a little bit of halloumi as well. Not super strict at the moment. That's more almost a bit of a refuel, because I'm going to be training in another hour or so's time. Just doing a bit of strength work, doing a bit of grip work as well, and a bit of rotation work. I've got an aim now, sort of like a target of June, July, to become sort of like peak fitness, and obviously make sure my technique's right and my composure within, you know, boxing itself is, you know, on point. And that's a good sort of timeline to work upon. So it's just sort of breaking things down at the moment, finding out what I'm made of, and then obviously working on that. So yeah, so now I'm going to have a little bit of a nap because I'm a little bit tired. I didn't really get a whole lot of sleep over the past few days, so I'm going to try and make up for it a little bit now. When I wake up, I'll do a bit of stretching mobility, a bit of sort of slow shadow boxing, have a coffee, hit the park and do a couple of strength training movements.
Addicted to fake fame, looking like shams. Hitting on jailbait, stinking a ham. Stinking of desperation, I don't consider them fine. Breathe, relax, take time, let the whole thing lapse. Breathe, relax, take time, let the whole thing lapse. I said breathe, relax, take time, let the whole thing lapse. Breathe, relax, take time, let the whole thing lapse. I be going on speedy, going on stratosphere, but not greedy. These men going on CD, chatting like activists, but stay greedy. See them on the Rex, they begging on freebies, spitting on dregs like celebs on the TV. You won't see me on CCTV, spend my life trying to get beef from a CV. You will never see me in a flex that's needy. I don't need you, you don't even need me. Can't even see when you wanna get near me. Take time, think about love, that's a freebie. Take time, think about love, that's a freebie. Take time, think about love.
Don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now. Aren't you the guy who...
One thing I forgot to mention as well, oh hey, wobbly, is I did a weigh-in a couple of weeks ago, and I was 83 kilos the previous time I weighed myself, which was probably about a month or two since then, and I was about 18.2% body fat, I believe. And unfortunately, so I was 79 kilos and thereabout anyway, and my body fat was 18.9, so I put on near enough a percentage of body fat, which isn't the be all the end all, but just for me that gives me an indication that I've lost muscle more than anything. I haven't actually lost fat, because one of the main things I was going wrong was I was eating high carby foods, but I was just not eating a sufficient amount of protein. So obviously I calculated my protein intake, what I've required to take, all of you know, and I've started increasing that. So the 4 supplements that I take before I go completely off track is, one, I do take some protein supplementation just to increase the protein intake, especially when I'm at work and I don't have a lot of time to prep foods. That's probably a little bit of laziness speaking, but it is what it is. Omega-3 tablets as well to help the brain functioning, obviously because boxing is a thinking man's sport as well as a fighting man's sport, so it's so important to keep the brain ticking over. The creatine again, because again with boxing it's very explosive. You do have moments where, you know, obviously a lot of it is endurance as well, but you have a lot of explosive moments, so you need to sort of your anaerobic capacity to be in fine tune. And BCAAs as well. I've increased my branched chain amino acid intake as well, just to sort of keep the protein oxidation at a sort of reasonably optimal level. Like I done. Oh, you've caught me. You caught me. I'm resting. So as you saw, I had my omelette, I had my toast. Not super strict, as I said, but I'm just trying to keep my protein intake reasonably high. One thing I didn't mention before as well is the reason why I have a black coffee before I train, especially when it comes to my strength training. And obviously I do it every now and then before my boxing as well to raise alertness, if you like, and reaction time when reacting to a stimulus, such as the pads, a hand, a fist, and all that jazz. That sounds like a bit of an innuendo, doesn't it? So a lot of people obviously would say that, you know, black coffee can actually increase fat oxidation if ingested 30 minutes prior to exercise. And, you know, that's fairly true, to be fair. It was something I used to do in order to get the fat down, but now it's more so to the point of it just sort of increases my reaction time, it increases my alertness, and it just gets me into the zone just before training. So yeah, black coffee, which is pretty much just coffee granules and hot water. So that's not what it looks like. So just to finish off and round up the day, 300 millilitres of tap water, because I am a peasant, and 1 scoop of protein, just standard whey protein, which is 20 grams of protein and approximately 149 calories in total, just to sort of round up the day, just to keep my protein intake in check. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please like, rate and subscribe, as all the other YouTubers say as well. And just hit me up in the suggestions box what I should sort of cover next within my sort of day-to-day basis. I don't want it to become drier than Sahara, although that is technically my humour. But again, thank you so much for the support, everyone. I hope to see you in the next one. God bless and peace.
Relax. Take time, let the whole thing lapse. I said breathe. Relax. Take time, let the whole thing lapse. Breathe. Relax. Take time, let the whole